But some people come tell you, oh man, I went to this unit, it was like this. I went to that unit, I was like that. Okay, well, from a psychological standpoint, how many times you been to prison? And if a tell you he been 3 or 4 times to pen and did a combination of this, just say, homie, you got comfortable.
I gotta say, and before I let you go, I want you to speak on the worst prison you did time in, and why was it the worst? What conditions were brought about for it to be that bad from all the units you had to sit on?
I'm gonna stretch it like this, bro. In terms of the worst prison that I've been on, and the worst one to make it bad for me and things of this nature, every last I've been on, homie, I was never around people I love. I always had somebody in a uniform trying to degrade me, make me be less than what the I was. It was always some inmate looking sideways, doing and saying some stupid ass to where it's every man for himself, but every man suffer for the next man. Ain't now unit I ever been on, man, that was worse than the last one. Because every time I stepped through the door, I wasn't surrounded by people I love, man. So I'm not gonna paint the picture and say this unit better than that one better than that one. No, they all up, man. Because every day that I was in there, it was somebody out there that was probably crying for me or praying for me. So I don't separate none of that shit and say one is better than the other, because I was never content. I was never happy. I was never at peace. And I always kept looking for a way out, man. And my reality at the end of every look was, man, you can't escape this shit, bro. You got to deal with this shit, man. And that's why when I see somebody who diagnosed with cancer, or I see somebody who know they got asthma, or I see somebody who know they suffering from leukemia, I always tell them, man, you better off than I am. And they'll be like, well, how is that? Because I'm in pain and suffering. I say the thing about you in comparison to me, you know your situation. I don't know mine. If somebody had to ask you how you was gonna die, you could tell them it's gonna be like this, because this, me, I don't know. And I don't give a damn what nobody say, homie. When you don't know, you in a up situation, man. But when it comes to that prison, bro, I would never say one unit worse than all, because the fact of the matter is, every last one I've been on, I survived. So it wasn't that. It was the fact that I was away from them that made every last one of them up. But some people come tell you, oh man, I went to this unit, it was like this. I went to that unit, I was like that. Okay, well, from a psychological standpoint, how many times you been to prison? And if a tell you he been 3 or 4 times to pen and did a combination of this, just say, homie, you got comfortable. Because you don't go in and go out. You don't go in and go out. That ain't what niggas do, man. Unless you was in there on time out and not doing time. See, 3 or 4 years, that's time out to me, man. I wasn't in time out. I was doing time. So it's a difference. Because when you take a for 4 years, it ain't shit for him to go back. Why? He didn't miss nothing. In 4 years, the kids that was kids when you left, what they went from 4 to 8, they still kids when you get out. You ain't missed a bitch ass thing. Your family tree probably still blooming around this bitch. Nah, homie, you got to go in that bitch and sit in that hoe. And then not just go in there and sit in that bitch, but be like a who don't give a damn, who got to do what the need to be done. And when you step on your toes, you step on their head. Get out there like that, man. Let them folks read you your rights 2 or 3 times, and then you starting to see you and your like. When I spoke to you about me being in solitary confinement, me being in administrative segregation and doing all them years locked up, it didn't take long for my story to somewhat be substantiated by the people that come to your platform, who you run into, who associated with that know me. It didn't take long for that. And to be around these type of now, homie, you not know nobody, you got to be a somebody. Because birds of a feather flock together. Nigga, ain't no trash over here, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's verification on how I slang this shit. But then I'm only with my kind, man. So when it come to, you know, me personally listening to a nigga, being around somebody, man, and being locked up and trying to say this is that and this better than that, say, homie, a real gonna tell you, bro. And not saying I'm a real nigga because I'm a nobody, but with the real facts, he gonna tell you, any prison unit you hit, man, any kind of jail you hit, when them handcuffs is on your homie, they all worse. They all up because you don't control that shit. Your life dictated by something else. And prison come with conditions that are inhumane to where it will lower your pride and your self-esteem if you let it, because they gonna have you doing shit like getting naked to take a shower, bro, in the middle of a hallway in front of God and everybody, having to squat down and couch to see if you got something stuck in your booty. Say, my out here in these streets, come on, man. You gangsta out here, but in there, come on, my nigga, they gonna take that gangster shit and strip it out butt naked and say, turn around, lift them, spread them, squat, cough. Say, homie, that's humiliating, man. And you gonna do that on every last one you hit. So talk about which one is worse, it depends on the particular individual and what he considered to be manly, unmanly, and how he survived on that bitch. Because some people sit back and say, man, I loved it over there. Man, I loved it over there, man. We having our way. We was doing this. Say, homie, I'm gonna keep it. I can't do nothing but call it how I see it, bro. I ain't never had it my way, even when I thought I did. I never had it my way because I couldn't wake up nowadays and tell them people, say, y'all, I'm finna run down here, man. Go get me something from Wendy's and I'll be back for count time. I couldn't do that. So I wasn't having it my way. But, you know, that's getting past the faking of the funk. You dig what I'm saying? That's just calling it how it is, bro. They all up, man. Anytime you separated from your kids, anytime you separated from your mama, your grandmama, you can't go to no funerals, you ain't getting no Christmas presents, you can rap, you can hand out, you can exchange from those that care about you, who you live and die for. Every unit you hit is a worse place to be, man. Every last one.
Man. Nah, that's it, man. You saying it right there. With that being said, Kane, you know, since you've been dropping these or, you know, giving out this knowledge, people have been trying to reach out and, you know, get in touch with you. Are you on social media yet? Have you started to decide to make a page, do anything as far as for fans to reach out to you?
Man, you know what? Being that you said that, bro, I entertain that on your behalf because I've thought about it, but I stay plotting and planning, man, on how to solidify the people that I'm raising up around me, bro. Because, and this is universal information, man, the world is changing. It's not getting easier to make it out here, man. And I fear that the day is gonna come, bro, where my kids is gonna be subjected to going to school and they're gonna have to identify either through a thumbprint or showing the retina of their eyeball, some type of facial recognition, and see, all that lets me know right then and there, my kids got to come out of school. So when I think on a visual level being publicized and put out there, you know, sometimes I get kind of little. I never been one into the fame, but this your second time saying that to me, man. And then I'm like this here too. I appreciate when somebody come to me on a note that's positive. And then they ask me the same thing. So now it's kind of like I might be missing out. Because see, God ain't going to keep talking to you through other people. Eventually, you might pass up. So I really don't have no page or none of that nature. I want to create one. And, you know, man, I'll probably get with you on that, bro.
Yeah, no,
if anybody want to reach me, they can do that through you. You got my number.
Definitely. With that being said, I think the kind of knowledge you're putting down, it gravitates a lot of not only men, but women as well. Who have sons, who don't know how to raise them, who don't know how to speak to their sons. Sometimes they might look to a voice or an entity that could be able to help them say the things they need to say to guide people on the right path or guide young men on the right path. And I think you really have that voice. So hopefully by the next time we do this, we've started something and you don't mind coming out that shell, because I also understand the other side of that to where you don't want to be publicized like that. But I'll let you ponder on it and then we'll go from there. But with that being said, I got to say, man, Kane, I appreciate you coming through, sitting down once again, dropping the knowledge. You know, again, every time it's a pleasure. But yeah, with that being said, this is Prison Stories 101, and I salute you, man. Let's go.
Right back at you, bro.